Hello and welcome to my channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Alfonso Peluso and I'm a Studio Associate Professor in the College of Architecture at IIT, the home of the legendary Mies van der Rohe, and I'm adjunct faculty at Columbia College Chicago in the Interior Architecture program. Shout out to all of my students. I hope you're having a great day. Man, we've been having some great weather for November. The first week of November, we've had some 70-degree weather, and we have some days coming up that are going to be in the 70s. So I guess we're having another Indian summer, and man, I sure love it. I hope you are somewhere where the weather is nice as well. Alright, today we're going to be using Revit to look at sweep and sweep blend. So just, you can say that maybe I modeled a bench there using the sweep, and then a curved wall using the sweep, and then a sweep blend which blends into two different shapes, and then I also used a sweep blend and then a subtraction to make this curved wall with a cutout in it. Alright, before we jump into the tutorial, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please search me up on YouTube and click on the big red subscribe box, and then click on the bell and click on all to receive all of the notifications. I'm close to 7,000 subscribers. I hope you can help me get to 7,000 subscribers soon. Thank you for that. Also, connect with me on Instagram at my first name Alfonso _ my last name Peluso. Looking to get to 2,000 followers. Hope you can help me with that. Been posting a lot of student work recently and been getting a lot of good feedback on that. So I hope to continue to keep doing that. Alright, whenever I do a sweep tutorial, I always think of the artist Richard Serra, who made these really beautiful forms out of steel, and he just made the steel look so light, and he made it look like fabric in a way. And that's what I always think of when I'm working on these sweep tutorials. I think of Richard Serra. So if you're not familiar with him, go ahead and search him up on Google and take a look at his work. Alright, let's jump into the tutorial. So I'm going to start a new file here, and I want to make sure that this is an architectural template. Alright, let me close out the other windows I was working in. Alright, so just to help me with scale and finding an origin in Revit, I want to turn my origin on. So I'm typing the shortcut VG, and I'm going down to Site, and I'm going to expand Site, and I'm going to turn on the project base point. Okay, so that's the origin. So that's if you're working in AutoCAD or Rhino, that's the 0, 0, 0. Alright, so I'll zoom into that, and we're going to go to Component, Model in Place, and we're going to categorize this as a generic model, and I'm going to call this Sweep. Okay, so here is my sweep. So just let the video play, give you an idea, a sense of what you could do with a sweep. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click on sweep. So one of the things that you saw was there was a path. So there's a path to begin with. So I'm going to sketch that path. So I'm going to make it maybe about, say, 12 feet long. Okay, so that's my path, is the purple line. And that's just a 2D path, meaning it's not a closed shape. It's just a single line or a curve. And then you see this green object, this object in green that's perpendicular to the path. That's the actual work plane that I would draw my shape on. So a sweep is a shape that follows a path. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw my shape now. But I have to tell Revit that I'm done drawing my path. Okay, so it's a, it's, if you've been drawing generic models in Revit, you're probably used to this. But if this is your first few times, it's part of the love-hate relationship, just getting used to all the buttons you have to push on. Okay, so we're done with the path. Now we have to draw what's called the profile. And there's no sketch profile button. There is an edit profile. And the reason there's no sketch profile is because I guess this is by sketch here, because there's other built-in shapes. So just to make it easier on us, we can just kind of just keep going to edit profile, and then now we can draw on this work plane. So I'm going to go ahead and draw something about 1'6". Okay, and I'm going to mirror this to the other side. Now, I don't know if we've talked a lot about the tab key, but the tab key is really crucial to working in Revit with. So I can select a line and I can select another line, or I can hover over the line and press the tab key and it selects both of them at once, and then I can click on it. And I'm going to mirror this. I'm going to use a shortcut called DM, which is a draw mirror axis, and I'm going to draw that mirror axis right there along the 90. Okay, fantastic. It mirrored to the other side. Now I'm going to draw a line across to close it. Okay, how about getting rid of some of these hard pointy edges here using, I'm going to use a fillet arc. And I can adjust that in a minute. Okay, so those are both at 3 inches. If I wanted something different, I would type in something different, but I'm gonna take that. That's fine as a bench. All right, so that's going to be my sweep. I'm going to sweep this along this path. Okay, sweep my profile along the path. So I'm going to click the check mark, click it one more time to say I'm done, and then in the upper right, I'm going to finish the model. All right, it's beautiful little bench there. Part of my love-hate relationship with Revit is it just doesn't show me, the lines when it should. Like now I'm seeing both. Now I'm seeing all the lines, but as I orbit around, I'm not seeing that line that goes across there. So not really happy with the display options in Revit. Those could be much better. Okay, let's continue on. So that's my bench. Now I'm going to go ahead and make a little wall, or a little Richard Serra wall. So maybe we're in an art gallery and we're enjoying Richard Serra's work, and we're going to sit on this bench and look at some of his curved steel shapes. Okay, so I'm going to go back to level 1. Let's make this in plan. And I'm going to go to architecture, and I'm going to go to component, model in place, and I'll choose generic models. Okay, I'll call this one sweep 2. Okay, and I'm going to click on sweep, and I'm going to sketch path, and this time I'm going to use the spline. Draw my curved profile, or my curved path. Okay, and you see the green work plane that is perpendicular to that path. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my 3D view. There it is. Spin around here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead now and click on the check mark to finish drawing the path, because I've drawn that. And now I'm going to click on edit profile, and here I'm just going to draw a rectangle and make that rectangle say about 6 feet tall. It's 6 by 3 inches. That's fine. I can move it to the middle if I want, so I could hover over one of these and then press my tab key once and then click on it to select all and then use my MV and move it from the midpoint. Okay. I always want to snap something to that little red dot, whether it's the midpoint or the end point. We want to make sure that we're drawing on that work plane. Okay, and I'm going to click the green check mark. Click the green check mark again. Okay. There we have our curved wall. Beautiful. Richard Serra would love it. Okay, I'll click on Finish Model. Alright, let's go to level 1. Okay, so that's sweep. Now let's look at drawing two forms using sweep blend. So we'll go to back to architecture, we'll go to component, model in place, go to generic models, call this one sweep blend 1. Okay, so I'm going to use the sweep blend now. I'll let this play. It does a little animation there so you can get an idea of it. Path, shape 1, shape 2, blend between them. Okay, so for this one I'm going to sketch path. Just going to draw a straight line like I did before. That was about 12 feet long. Okay, so now what you'll see is it's making a construction plane or work plane at both the beginning and the end of it, and we'll see this in 3D. Okay, so there you have that. So I'm going to draw something similar to what I drew before, but I'll draw the first one like I did, and then I'll draw something that's flipped upside down. Okay, we'll see that in a second here. So I'm done with my path. Now this has two profiles, profile 1 and 2. So I'm going to select profile 1, click on edit profile, and I'm going to go ahead and draw that. Again, about 1'6" was the height of it. And I'm going to mirror that. So I'm going to hover over it, press my tab key once. I should say with the tab key, it's not a press and hold. It's just a press and release. And select both of those. DM for draw mirror axis. Go right down the middle there. Draw my line across the top. I used the shortcut LI for line that time. I didn't select it from up here. Alright, let's fillet those corners. Like how it rounds exactly to 3 inches. I do like that. So that would be part of my love relationship with Revit right there. I'll put that in the love category. Alright, I can't copy and paste this. I'd like to be able to copy and paste it to the other work plane. So I'm going to have to redraw something similar, but I'm going to draw it upside down. Okay, so I'm done with that one. Now I'm going to draw my profile 2. So select profile 2, edit profile. Go ahead and draw something here. So I'll draw something from the bottom. Okay, so about 1'6". Okay, I'm going to mirror this over. Okay, so this has also gotten pretty wide as well, and that's okay. It's just a different shape, so it'll still demonstrate a sweep blend. Let's put a fillet arc on here. Okay, rounded those both to 5.5. Okay, so those are the two different shapes that it's gonna sweep blend into. So I'm gonna click the check mark, click the check mark again, and click the check mark to finish the model. Pretty cool. I wish it had more lines. It would just give me at least one more line there. Not so challenging. All right, our last sweep blend. Let's make another. We're gonna make another wall. Okay, so I'm gonna go to level 1, and I'm gonna go to architecture. Go to component, model in place. Categorize this as generic model. Call it sweep blend 02. Alright, I'm going to say I want to draw a sweep blend, or swept blend is what they're calling it. I'm going to sketch path. I'm going to do this with a spline again. Okay, I'm going to look at this in 3D. So I have two places to draw, two work planes. So I'm going to click the green check mark, select profile 1, edit profile, and I'm going to draw another spline. So this gets a little bit more challenging. So I'm going to make an object that has double curvature. And this is the only way that I can make an object with double curvature, is with a sweep blend. A sweep blend is like a sweep 2 in Rhino. If you're modeling in Rhino, they're actually very similar to one another. Okay, so there's my shape. Now it has to be a closed profile, so I'm going to offset that. Use my offset button. I'm going to offset it 2 inches is fine. Why don't I do 3 inches? 3 inches. Okay, depending on which side I want to offset that on, I'm moving my cursor. I'm going to go to the left side, and I'm going to close that. I have to make sure I zoom in and snap to close it. Okay, let me draw the other side. Okay, I'm going to click the green check mark here and select profile 2, edit profile. I'm going to go ahead and draw that. I'm going to go the other way with it. Oh, I want this to be a spline. Okay, I think those are, no, they're not the same height. This one's way taller, but that's okay. It'll still work. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and offset that. And I'm going to close it up, making sure that I snap. Alright, I hit the green check mark. The green check mark again. And look at that, it's a beautiful curved slanted wall. Richard Serra would be so proud once again. I'm going to finish model. Okay, the last thing that I want to do is I want to just look over the subtraction again, and just make everyone aware that you could draw these as void forms and subtract from one another. And what's important with that is that you draw it by editing the model. So if I'm going to put a hole in this one, I need to select it, edit in place, and then I can go to create. Now I'm just going to create an extrusion, okay, to put the hole in the wall. So I'm going to click on extrusion. I'm going to set my work plane. Now what's interesting is when I set a work plane to pick a plane, I can pick any plane that it's going to allow me to draw on. Okay, it doesn't have to be from just this wall. I want something perpendicular to it. So I'm going to use this actually this front face here of this object, this bench here. Alright, we'll see, I'll have to move it around, but I just want to be able to, I pick that face and draw a circle and go ahead and extrude that pretty long. I'm going to look at it in a front view. It's way down there, and in this front view I'm going to move it in line with the wall, and in the top view, if it lets me in the top view, move it over. Alright, so it's going, I lost it in the front view. Do the best I can here, I just pull it through. Okay, so there we go, it's going through that wall. Alright, so that needs to be a void, so I'm going to select it, change it to a void, click apply, and then I'm going to do my cut, this wall minus this. Hey, look at that, fantastic. Okay, so there we have our 4 objects there, 1, 2, 3, 4. That was fun to actually make those. Alright, last is if I want to print this, I'm going to set up my viewport to print, and I'm going to go to File, Print. I'm going to change this to Adobe PDF. I want it to be visible portion of current window in this case. And if I go to my properties, I can select what size that paper should be. And my students and I, we've been using this awesome size of 4x10. And click OK. And I can preview that. And that's the preview of it. And then that would print out and make a PDF. Alright, the last thing I wanted to show is turning on the shadows. So once I was done making the model, when I'm inside the model I can't do it, but once I'm done making the model, I can turn the shadows on. And there you see some shadows, and I think that looks really great with the shadows on. Alright, if you enjoyed this video, give me a like, give me a thumbs up, and leave me a comment of why you liked the video. Hopefully you found it helpful. Also, go ahead and click on my head that pops up in the upper left here to subscribe to my channel, and in the upper right I'll leave some Revit basic video link, and also I'll leave one in the lower right. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.